good? What's good? What's goody?
Yeah, what's good?
Shit, man. Today is Wednesday. It's our live day. Got some interesting topics today. So,
Day.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? Oh, man. So, welcome to the Everything Talk Show, everybody. We got DJ DC Hollywood, aka Duck Sauce the Goat, bitch. My man Jay Watts, aka Where's My Shirt? Follow him at IG at J_Watts82. And me, Born King, aka Killer Fifth. How y'all do? Shouts out to Wu-Tang Management. Shouts out to Born Divine and Divine Chamber. Shouts out to BMG, my man Desert Ease. And also to the DMV. What's good?
Yeah. Shout out. Planet Earth.
Man. So, I mean,
Hollywood, don't hear nothing from you, man.
Yeah. What's good?
You already out your face.
What's good, everybody? What's good, everybody? How y'all feeling today on this Wednesday, on this Hump Day Wednesday? Excuse me, I'm a little bit under the weather or not feeling good. Back pains, but we still here to do a show, deliver y'all a show.
Yeah, I got the Rona, by the way. Just so y'all.
Oh, damn.
I know, right?
Take that silver, bro. It's going to knock that shit about.
Like I already did.
I know that's right, God. I know
Colloidal
that's
silver,
right.
in case y'all was asking. Matter of fact,
Oh, yeah. Need that colloidal silver for real. Naruto Khan. Okay. Peace, God.
You said Galapagos silver,
Colloidal silver.
kaleidoscope silver.
Yep, that's one.
Yeah, that's one.
Yeah, I guess. Took that in the I took the whatchamacallit too. The Ormus.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. I meant to put that in my water tonight. I forgot to do that.
Yeah.
But shucks, man. It's a good thing to have that, right? It's protection. When they say put your armor on, there you go. There you go. You know what I'm saying? Put the armor on. Dress yourself in silver and gold in the inside.
Yeah.
As well as the outside.
It didn't do too much to me, man. I had a slight fever yesterday, but I'm good, man. I had one day.
But you know what though? They say the coronavirus basically listen, and I'm just saying, they say if you eat right and you don't have like really like meat in your system, you know what I'm saying? And it's something about marijuana and things of that nature. When you have certain things going on in your life,
yeah,
that shit might come in your system, but it's not, your system isn't hospitable to it.
Right.
Feel me? And the majority of the people that have contracted it, you know what I'm saying, their system was hospitable to the virus.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, you know.
Gotta stay healthy.
Oh yeah. But which brings me into my other topic of discussion actually with marijuana. Hey, so can we do a compare and contrast on marijuana and alcohol real quick?
Sure.
I'm just saying marijuana, right, versus alcohol. So alcohol and its effects versus marijuana and its effects, right? Now, we know right now that it's not fully legalized in certain places, so forth and so on. Right. A lot of jobs don't really rock with it, so forth and so on. But at the end of the day, you can get a medical card. Now, I want you to hear that. You can get a medical card, though, right? It's medical. So that shows you when they had that ban on marijuana back in the day, right? When they made it totally illegal, right? Everything that they said then is false today. But these are our misleaders, right? Who said to us that it was a drug.
Right.
But
That was hold on, this is straight. They said it was a gateway drug.
No, some they said it was a gateway drug, but then some say it's just straight drug. You know what I'm saying? So it's two of them. It's a gateway and it's a straight drug. So either way, marijuana wouldn't be able to win, you know, during certain time periods. Now you get a medical card for it, and it says medicinal, right? And people are gravitating more towards that than actually taking maybe aspirin, over the counter type drugs or whatever, right? None of the real commercial prescribed drugs, right? Now, at the end of the day, I'm all for natural cures, right? Now, question. Because we know about marijuana and its medicinal effects, right?
Right.
Now, just bringing alcohol into it, why would you think that they would have alcohol legal with everything that alcohol has done in alcohol itself is toxic. I'm sorry. And I was told alcohol is poison to the body as well. So,
Literally.
you know what I'm saying? Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
So, I'm just trying to figure out why is that legal and it's toxic. It gives you cirrhosis of the liver. It can give you all kinds of high blood pressure and it can make you obese. It can do a lot to you. But yet you can go buy that, just as simple as you can go buy a candy bar.
Yeah. Same
So,
thing. I mean that's the thing. We understand that it goes without saying at this point. There's a system in place for certain things, and that there's pharmaceutical companies out here that make billions of dollars each year from pushing drugs on the people. When the universe and this planet has given us everything we need for medication without the use of pharmaceuticals. So, if more people were using weed, marijuana, whatever you want to call it, if more people were using,
I call it good
cannabis, there we go. We use a medical term. A scientific term, cannabis. If more people were using it, it would be less likely. They'd be less likely to use pharmaceuticals. So they would lose a lot of money. So,
I agree.
Things,
Yeah. You can't cure nothing with alcohol. Let's really just break it down to brass tacks. Like you can't. Alcohol will get you in a euphoric state. It can make you, because technically it is a drug and they named it a depressant.
Right.
So you will have a legal depressant that causes issues to the body to exist legal. But you have something that's from the earth that has medicinal value. And I'll even take it a little step further. It opens you up. It makes you very receptive to everything around you, right? Your energy, your aura, everything. You can pretty much feel everything around you. This is where people say they get paranoid because they're actually aware, but they don't know that they're aware. And I've heard people say, well, I don't want to smoke in certain environments, so I don't smoke, certain environments. Some people don't even like to listen to certain music, right? And I've done a lot of research on this, and this is my thing. It is the best thing ever. I'm not going to lie to you. I can't really deal with it like that or what have you, but I will say this. Now, in terms of playing devil's advocate, I wonder if weed is addictive. Now, I have an answer for that. So I shouldn't have said I wonder. I just want to know, do you think weed is addictive?
I think anything can be addictive if you have an addictive personality. I
agree.
I use cannabis regularly, but I can stop at any point too. There have been times where I just didn't do it. Not that I've even planned to. I was just busy. Didn't have time to sit down and do that. But I think anything can be addictive. Is it naturally like, you know what I'm saying? Like some of these drugs I hit it, they hook you. Nah, it ain't like that. And it ain't no gateway drug either.
Facts.
I know people that smoke weed and they have been smoking weed forever, and they ain't never done nothing else.
Facts.
You know what I mean? So nah, I don't want to hear none of that nonsense.
Facts. Now let me ask you a question. Let me ask y'all a question.
Yeah.
Because I'm a kind of slowly but surely change the conversation. But in terms of everything that we've heard versus alcohol and marijuana, I feel like the people in the United States, for the most part, most people, a great majority of people, they wait for the government to tell them what's right and what's wrong. And they wait for the government to give them approval on things. And it seems like to me that in certain areas of approval, I would have to say that, you know, there's some suppression going on, and there is like a redirection of a positive versus a negative. And what I mean by that is you will blatantly just sit around and say, well, weed is a drug. Police, weed is a drug, and they out here helping. They think that they're helping out the communities. A lot of people got locked up for weed.
Yeah.
Right? Now, my thing is this. All of a sudden, now you want to make it something that, you know, is a savior in certain ways. You're making money off of it. Older people are loving it to death. You know what I'm saying? Never thought they would see this, right? But you had to wait for somebody to tell you what's good. Like, we all know that marijuana isn't stringing people out. We know this.
Right.
But because of money and for whatever other reason, now all of a sudden it's contradicting the other years that people got locked up for selling it.
Why don't they just let those people out? Why are they still being held in jail if weed is legal now? Shouldn't those cases be dropped?
Well, here's
the time served.
Well, here's the thing.
If it was straight weed,
I agree. I think it should be, especially with all the over sentencing and the extensive times. But on the flip side, when they say stuff like, well, it wasn't legal at the time. I had to understand it was not legal, and you decided to do something illegal, so you knew what you were doing.
Yep. Well, I'll say it like this: our misleaders have a way of conveniently, you know what I'm saying, covering up and making things work in their favor versus just letting people do them. I mean, I'm starting to feel like there's a lot of control going on, and even in the music industry and the things that we do as in our culture of hip hop, like we had to talk about the DJs as far as for, well, shit, you got turntables, you see them doing what they doing on the lives and stuff, and you want to take the dude live down because he didn't get permission. He's a fucking DJ. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's just like control. We will not have people saying this. We will not have people do this, that, and the third or whatever. And the average person or a great majority of people can't really see how their life is being slowly but surely changing in the area of taking away your civil liberties and your freedom. You know what I'm saying? Your rights or whatever. Well, I don't believe that we have freedom in the United States. I will say that we have liberties. Liberties.
We're not free dummies.
Yeah. It's just liberties and freedom are totally two different things.
Right.
So they say it's the Statue of Liberty, right? But it's not the Statue of Liberty. It's not a liberty, you know what I'm saying, and freedom and all that. Some French
chick in the dress.
You know what I'm saying? It's just all this stuff. And the only thing that I can see is that people, the powers that be, know how to articulate bullshit. And they know how to make it work in their favor. And they know how to tell you what you can't do. Say like if you have hardcore facts.
They're word magicians.
Yeah, of course. But if you had hardcore actual facts to contradict what these people were saying, it wouldn't even matter because they said it. And that's just the way that it goes. So it's like, are we really in the land of the free? You know what I'm saying? Or is it free for certain individuals though? Because I know they like to do a lot of blanket statements.
Right. Yeah, we understand that.
Now, I'm just going to change the direction real quick. We 15 minutes into the live because we're dealing with the government right now. So I want to go into all these world wars because this goes into the blanket statement, so forth and so on. We over here in America. And since we're over here in America, what do we have to do with other people in their countries? We technically don't have anything to do with other people in their countries. And this takes me back to the Spanish Inquisitions. Well, not the Spanish Inquisition, I'm sorry. The Inquisition period, as far as for these wars that were going on in the name of religion. They were out here propagating the Christian, well, let's just say the Catholicism at that time, because the Christians broke away from the church, from the Catholic Church. And the only difference, the real difference between the two is that one deals with a baby Jesus and the other one deals with the grown man Jesus. Yeah. So I digress from that point, but I'm saying as far as for these wars being concerned, and I had briefly made a statement on one of our episodes where they were talking, we were talking, and I had mentioned that they have churches that have skulls and bones on them, and they were actually really a lot of buildings were, well, let's just say monuments were made out of human skulls and bones.
Right.
So the question was, where did all those bones and skulls and everything came from? And the answer was from the Spanish Inquisitions and every other Inquisition.
Yeah.
And the thing about it was, you have to take time to get meat off of a bone, right? So from my understanding, they were literally eating these people.
I've heard such.
Right. Now, the things that happened during those days still happen till today. I mean, still happening today. For example, watch the movie Get Out. And they were talking about the melanin, right? Went to the sunken place, everything. And that white guy told the black guy, if I had what you had, man, you know what I'm saying? He literally let him know. So this is the thing. They had an auction, all that. And they were literally stealing this dude's essence, right?
Yeah.
Now, when I go back into the 1800s, they were digging up mummies from Egypt, taking them back to Europe, and eating them. This is actual facts. Grave robbing. Yes, digging up our ancestors, robbing them, and eating them. Now, we have a lot of kidnappings. We have a lot of abductions as far as for women. And I even heard that Planned Parenthood, dealing with abortions, a lot of those, let's just say, baby parts, right? Infant parts or whatever, were being sold for stem cell research.
Yep.
So a lot of work has been done in the efforts of making stronger genetics. And my thing is, when you have a loved one over here and the other person is out fighting the wars, and you have people that lose family members over shit that we really don't have nothing to deal with, to be totally honest with you. But people are thinking we go out, we go fight for the country. Now, don't get me wrong. That's what I'm saying? Like, as far as for the mind on how we perceive protecting our country, you're supposed to really feel that way. But the behind the scenes, the smoking mirrors and shit, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, where are those bodies going? The fallen soldiers. Because the reason why I say we might be over here, but the loved ones are somewhere else fighting, that body doesn't come back over here and we don't necessarily see what they look like. So the question is, are they committing these wars still till this day because they're still doing what they've always been doing?
Trying to dominate the world.
Yeah, but besides that, I mean, but think about it. If they are so hard up for genetics, the properties of genetics,
Right.
these wars in the Gulf and these wars that's being fought, those bodies have a lot of genetics.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you also, you understand that certain people have recessive genes, and
Yes.
and some people don't. Some people are full of melanin, which is literal magic. And if you put those melanated organs inside of you, then guess what? Then you have melanin in you.
Yeah.
Also, they want to get those young organs, just like your man. What's his name? Rothschild had like 9 heart.
Yeah, yo. Yes. Thank you.
Yes. Come on, son. 9 of them.
9. Yeah. 9. Who wants to get operated on 9 times?
Yeah, he had 9 different. He had 9 different hearts in him. So
9.
Trying to stay around forever.
But check it though. Not to cut you off. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Because intelligence, as far as for energy, we're starting to understand that you could, like, the body ain't nothing but a flesh bot.
Right.
It's an avatar. The real person is the energy. So you can literally transfer your intelligence into another avatar, bro.
Yeah. So
I think that's what the rich are really gearing up towards. Like, they're gonna just keep switching avatars at the while.
Yeah. That's probably what they're trying to do. They started doing I don't know if they have not done research, but and if they have, I haven't heard anything about it. They probably won't say anything, but brain transfer, transplant, should I say? We transplant the whole human brain and see if they if it works.
Yeah, I mean, listen, like they say,
somebody's had to try it by this time.
Yeah, I heard they have a monkey. Well, I heard that they really did take energy from a person and put it into a monkey. I've also heard of research being done. Piece the General Rossetti for the Jewel, but I forgot the guy's name. But this is a scientist that was taking DNA and putting it inside of monkeys, right? And trying to have a birth between a monkey, or let's just say an ape and a human. And there's a lot of trial and error going on with that, but I'm gonna say a lot failed. And I think the guy kind of like he knew where he was going wrong, but if I'm not mistaken, I think he died before it could actually really come to fruition. But I think other people took over his research, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, if you look up Oliver, it was a chimp who had very human-like characteristics. Very, very human-like.
Now that's crazy.
You Google that. Oh, you go to YouTube and look that up. Oliver the chimp, and you'll see.
Oliver the chimp.
He acted more human than chimp for the most part.
Wow.
Yeah, man. He didn't talk though.
Wow. Now listen, this goes deep, because I'm starting to really feel like there's so many things going on where me and you were having a conversation. I was saying that I didn't feel comfortable with putting up certain information off of YouTube dealing with these beefs and shit, right? Because I didn't want to help perpetuate that. And I started thinking while we're talking right now that, wow, like, okay, maybe a lot of this goofy shit that goes on is a distraction from the things that we actually really talking about.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, it's easy to have meaningless conversation. It's easy to have conversations that just deal with bullshit.
Right.
And at the end of the day, I'm into having more of a high frequency conversation.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So it's like, I can't really keep promoting too much nonsensible shit, you know what I'm saying, where that's helping that energy without people still live on. So in conversations like this or these, you know, they can be a little brutal. They could be, you know, brutally honest, you know, but at the same time, it's like to say things and people become uncomfortable is just a sign of things that are not right. 1 + 1 is 2.
Right.
And if you're going to tell a person 1 + 1 is 1.0 or 1.6 and try to come up with an equation to fit that, right? Then, you know, that's technically, to me, that's what's been going on for a lot of shit, meaning that they're going to tell you half truths out here. And the average person, to me, right, that I run into, they can't really have conversations that are meaningful outside of the spectrum of sex,
right,
outside of the spectrum of materialism,
right,
and outside of the spectrum of just balancing yourself as a person. A lot of people don't know who they are. And, you know, to have conversations that deal with genetics, to have conversations that deal with economics, these are the conversations that the rich are actually having.
right.
These are the conversations that people that have wealth talk about, right? But they're talking about it in a different manner. We're 27 minutes into this live. They're talking about it in a different manner where we will talk about it like this is what's going on, you know, blood this, you know what I'm saying, and recessive germ that, and the things that happen. But they're talking about how to use science to their benefit, how to control the money to control science for their benefit, how to control religion to their benefit. Now, I want to say this about religion. Religion and spirituality are two different things.
I believe so.
The same way that you have authentic hip hop out here, you have commercial hip hop, right? The same way you have good foods, you have bad foods, right? So everything technically is at a dualistic point. It has some type of duality to it. So in terms of spirituality and religion did not exist. Spirituality is dealing with the sun, moon, stars, constellations, the earth, fire, water, elements that give us life, sustainable energies, right?
Right.
Now, before there was a gas and electric plant, there have been the pyramids. We've always had technology, right? We've always had a lot of things from nature that assisted in our evolution. But it wasn't until a certain point in history where things started to change over, right? Now, when I say that religion is man-made and it's not natural, that's a fact.
Right.
There were no Bibles 452,000 years ago.
No, the Bible wasn't around before the 1600s, just so you all know.
Thank you, bro. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I don't try to condemn people who deal with religion, but the problem with religion and most people that deal with it, they like to project that religion on people. And black people are the most typical when it comes to that. They figure because we're all black, we all deal with Jesus. Now, let me just give a little etymology. Well, no, not even gonna say etymology. I'm gonna do it differently.
Okay.
Let me just say this. For all my people out here with common sense, Jesus didn't exist.
Oh, that hurt.
I'm getting ready to prove a point.
That hurt.
The letter J didn't exist during that time frame because the English language wasn't in existence.
Absolutely. Yeah. So what was his name?
Well,
It doesn't matter what his name was. What is there power in the name?
Jesus.
Jesus.
Jesus is actually really Zeus.
That
And when you're dealing with the Christian religion or the Catholicism aspect of anything, right? Dealing with these religions, Presbyterian and any of that, you're really dealing with Zeus.
hello.
Right? And one thing I will have to say is this. I have no problem with Christianity or the Catholic religion. I really don't. Because
Did
I
he
believe
say that was his son named Hercules?
Oh yeah, no doubt. But my thing is this. That's European spirituality. And if you're comfortable dealing with European spirituality, then that's your business.
Facts.
You're European.
Yeah, you're European. Yes, exactly. Now,
No, European.
Oh, you stupid. He said European. So,
oh, your opinion.
Yeah, your opinion. Oh, okay.
I like that. I like
Okay,
that.
No,
okay.
you are peeing.
Peeing, like urinating.
Oh Lord, yeah, that's what I thought he said. Yeah, oh Lord.
Oh man, I'm kind of mad that we broke that down.
Right. Okay. Well, let me just bring it back home real quick, huh?
But the way you broke it down, yeah, that too.
Well, Europe actually really comes from this. Now there's a name, right, called the Tamahu.
And 32 minutes past the hour.
This is written on Egyptian walls, where it explains about a people that were basically created and they lived in the hillsides and they were unlike us Africans. So they named them the Tamahu, right? So when we had a battle or a war, the Tamahu got casted out and they were pretty much put in a place called Europe. EU means hillside and rope means the rope to bind them in, meaning that they had to stay there in those hillsides. Right? So that's how that came about. That's the real definition and all that goes along with it. But my thing is this: spirituality differs from culture to culture in certain ways. So the black man and woman over here in what we call the wilderness of North America, we're called the lost and found. You know what I'm saying? We lost over here, found over here, and all that good stuff, right? Now, this is the thing. When you're dealing with a people who are lost, that means that they have lost information. And these people, you could pretty much put another chip into these people and get these people to do what you want them to do. Meaning that if I give you religion, I'm going to give you your God. So I give you the picture of Caesar Borgia that was painted by Michelangelo in the 1600s, if I'm not mistaken. So that was one of the most effective weapons in white supremacy that has ever been used, because you gave a people a God that did not look like them at all. And you told them to worship him, which, by the way, like I said, he was a painting of, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Caesar Borgia used to be put like this. He used to be a murderer. He also was a pirate, and he was a cousin of Michelangelo. And technically, by him going through all these phases in his life, talking about Caesar Borgia, he made Michelangelo do that painting because he wanted people to view him as that. So that's how deep that gets. So every time you're looking at that white Jesus, you're just looking at Caesar Borgia. But this is what I go back to when I say the distractions that we got. You know what I'm saying? Like, we care about, Irv Gotti talking about sleeping with Ashanti versus what we talking about right now. I don't really, you know what I'm saying, like, care whether or not this dude slept with Ashanti. And I don't care about most of the bullshit that goes on in hip hop, to be totally honest with you. Whether it's social, even these TV shows, these reality shows of the rich basketball wives or love and hip hop and all that shit. Like, it's all detrimental mentally. The Boondocks did a show at one time where they showed Stewie did a little science experiment on himself to see how BET would affect him after long periods of time of watching it.
You said Stewie?
Yes.
That's hilarious.
And the brother, he just basically, his brain almost turned to mush by watching BET all the time.
Yeah, I can understand that.
So,
we don't own that. So.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's crazy to me. Like, they put black on shit, but you don't own it fully or nothing like that. That's just crazy to me. But we keep losing, and the things that the wise keep seeing with our people is that we're our own detriment at this point. You want to deal with a God that does not look like you. You want to deal with European spirituality, and you're an African. That's your business.
Facts.
But for the most part, we like I said, we like to project that on other people. And churches in the hood, for example, I would think that they would have done something by now, because there's too many homeless people out and about around churches. I've been in some of these churches. I've worked in some of these churches doing what I do. And at the end of the day, a lot of these pastors, ministers, whatever you want to call them, they are like the rock stars for the people in the church. One church I went to, the pastor, his wife was on vacation like every other weekend. I'm not lying either. And the people would just be so happy. Oh, pastor, they on vacation. Praise God. Meanwhile, you looking at a homeless dude outside and turn your nose up.
Yeah.
You can't put an actual business in the hood without making it some way, shape, or form, or fashion connected with Jesus. Bruh. We got to learn how to put that to the side. To me, it's pathetic. I'm sorry to say it like that, but at this point, it's like, wow, there's so many mega churches and so many churches, but there's less improvement in the hood. Now, I could actually really rock with the churches if they would put their spiritual system to the side and say, hey, we got to team up and help protect our people, because black is first. But that's not what's going on.
Yeah.
They want you to accept Jesus before they help you.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is this is one of those topics that me personally I've talked about with many people over the years. I don't even talk about it much anymore because my thing is, you understand that the hardest thing to change about any person is their belief system. And if they're not willing to change, then you're just talking to a wall. But me personally, I went on a quest years ago to personally prove Christianity and all that it was, and the more I researched, the more I found out, the more I actually learned history, and then I realized that, and I came back to people and talked to them about it. Most people in the religion haven't really studied. They don't know the history of the religion they follow. They don't know the Bible that they read. They just know what the pastor tells them on Sundays. Other than that, during the week, they just, doing their thing. They come for a shot of hope every Sunday. It helps them get through the week. But if you know anything about the history, you know that the Bible, as we know it, was not put together into the 1600s, early 1600s. No secret or no coincidence, should I say, that slavery started about 8 years afterwards. So you can go look that up on your own if you like.
I know that's right.
Yeah, man, this it's so much about that topic. well, if you understand that there are over 4,000 religions recognized by the government today.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know why anybody feels like they got it figured out. But what I would implore people to do, what I always tell people to do, tomorrow when you leave work, on your way home, just take one time on your commute, and I don't care if you work 3 minutes from your job, count how many churches and liquor stores that you see on the way if you live in certain areas. If you come over, if you're around anywhere in the DC, in southeast, you know what I mean, and any hood area. I'm just saying hood area, period, because they change it up southeast. But any hood area, you're gonna see liquor stores and you're gonna see churches, and you're gonna see a lot of them. I was looking at how many churches was in my county a couple years. It was like 430 Christian churches.
Wow.
I'm like, why you have so many churches? Shouldn't they all be coming together? If they all serving the same God, they all
facts.
All come together and build a stronger community. But also with that, in my studies, I come across some statistics years ago where the church, the Black Christian church, had reported $83 billion in a year, nationwide. $83 billion collected from Black churches across the nation.
Good Lord.
Do you know what the Black community could do with $83 billion?
Man, we could run ourselves. See,
we had to worry about putting no kids through school. That's scholarship money for so
everybody.
That's businesses for so many people. It's just so much you can do instead of taking 10% of your money.
Wow, I'm blown right now. I had no idea.
Giving it to the church every week, and not getting any kind of ROI. That's return on investment for those who know anything about money. You get nothing in return but a shot of hope.
Right. Exactly.
I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, you can go to any most church parking lots, and I bet you know what car belongs to the pastor.
Yeah,
I guarantee you that, because at the end of the day, what people realize that they're just funding the life, or they're funding the life for a man or a woman, whoever's pastoring, and their family, because it's a family business at the end of the day too.
Hold up, not to cut your wisdom real quick. I'm sorry, but doesn't the Bible say? And this is the crazy thing for me. The Bible says that women shouldn't even preach for real. For real, it has it in there. Like
that's what Paul was talking to the Corinthian church. See, y'all about to get my. So I was born on the altar, so I know that. I know that book forwards and backwards. But
that's right.
Paul was talking to the Corinthian church, and he was saying for them that the woman shouldn't speak. So that's another thing. Like that was a time period thing, and it doesn't apply to today. So I mean, I understand what you're saying, but something else I want you guys to look up.
Okay.
Anybody listening, look up the winter solstice. It's natural. It happens every year. It happens to this day. You can look it up. The winter solstice, where the Son of God, let's go there. But anyway, it goes down to a certain point and it stops there for 3 days and then it goes up.
Resurrection.
So it's the winter solstice that happens every year. So when you tell stories, you write stories like that to teach kids about nature, and then you have a point in life where they personify and make this winter solstice and different things that happen in nature. You turn them into people, i.e., Jesus. He died and resurrected after 3 days, when everything can be explained through nature. Not to mention that's the same story of Jesus has been repeated throughout history. If you look up the story of Horus, it's the same exact story. The story of Attis in Greece, it's the same story. If you look at the story of Dionysus, same story. If you look at the story of Buddha, Krishna in India, you look up all these different deities. They all have the same story. They're born of a virgin. 12 disciples or brothers. They were crucified and rose after 3 days. And a lot of these stories came thousands of years before the story of Jesus. So just look it up. That's all I got to say about that. Just research before you. And most people won't. Most people won't research because they don't want to know that. Because I've introduced that to people and they just come back like, I just feel lost at this point. I just don't know. I feel like I've been lied to my whole life, and then run from it.
Yeah, that is true.
I understand because once you put on what some call the magic glasses, you can't take them off. Once you see the truth, you can't unknow the truth.
That's what happened to me, bruh. I went to Sunday school, Catholic school, vacation Bible school. You feel me? So, yeah, I'm like I said, I'm who I am today. But the thing about it was, and I gotta say this too. It's 46 minutes into the live, but Black people never wrote Bibles. There's no institution of a Black church that even has control over writing Bibles. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's another jewel right there. But my thing is like all of the shit that I had to learn that brought me up to my evolution to who I am now. I've done over 25 years of research on shit like this. And the crazy part about it is the extent to cover up things that they go through. You know what I'm saying? It's like we can't have them wake up. We can't have them remember. We need them to know things like this. And if I can remember this correctly, this is crazy. This is gonna be funny. Well, not funny, but because I said if I can remember, there's a tree that slave masters used to get the slaves to walk around called the Tree of Forgetfulness.
Wow.
Yeah, they had them literally walk around it like the Muslims walk around the Kaaba stone, but they had them slaves walking around it so they could forget about the voodoo, right? The African spiritual side of all things, right? They wanted them not to remember. Anybody getting caught with anything dealing with African science, period, they'll have them walk around that tree. But I'm gonna tell you, but this is the crazy part. This is the science of it though. They knew how we thought. So if they said that that's the tree of forgetfulness, and you tell them walk around the tree of forgetfulness, they know how we are. We thought that the tree would actually really make us forget. So that's the enemy knowing his enemy.
Right.
You can't do anything to anyone until you actually really knows what makes them tick.
Right.
And they know what type of frequency we exist on. So this is why we're where we're at today. They are smart as fuck. They are some scientists. Actually, if I could really say it, I'm gonna say they're geneticists and scientists. They have to be.
Well, I don't. It's not that they're smart because I think we're the smartest people, clearly, but because we're actually connected. I just think that they it's sort of like when you have power, right? So like we have and always have, and they learn this power from us, whether it be our magic or whatever the case may be. We use it for good to help one another.
Facts.
It's like what they say, the ice children versus the sun children. Children of the sun, i.e. us, we've always had abundance. If you live in the sun, what happens? All your food is grown. You have plentiful. Everything it lives and thrives in the sun. So
facts, bro. Facts.
When you're ice people, Neanderthals.
Drop that science, God.
Plants don't grow there. So what do you have to do to survive? You have to kill. We didn't have to kill to survive. We ate fresh fruits. Our stuff came out of the ground. You know what I mean? They had to kill animals and each other to eat. You know, and you know, I mean that whole way of lifestyle lends itself to other things too. But you know, it's just treacherous. It's all about them.
So I would say there was more cunning in us.
Evil. How about that?
Yeah, more evil,
cunning,
right?
Just evil.
Evil. Yeah.
There's to it. I mean, the thing is, like, I don't see how you can't see. I mean, just look at history.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, where have these people gone to help anybody?
Yeah.
They've only raped and pillaged everywhere they went, and they continue to do so to this day.
Don't believe too much because it's his story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we know what they've done throughout history. I mean, if you just look at some of the just the pictures from earlier time, and the thing is, not even that long ago. These people are still alive. Like my grandparents are still alive. They went through this stuff when they were kids. You know what I mean?
Facts.
So a lot of these people are still alive, but you got to think about what kind of person you have to be in a crowd of people, and there's a man hanging from a tree behind you, and everybody's smiling and taking a picture together. Like,
yeah, yo,
what kind of sick person do you really have to be? And you got children.
Facts.
And y'all sit there and y'all eat around there. Y'all have a good time. You have your picnic. We all know what that means,
right?
With a dead body hanging in.
A nigga.
What kind of
a nigga?
Really, what kind of sick person do you have to be? And even to this day, what kind of mental space do you have to be to really believe that when you wake up and walk out your door, your recessive skin makes you better than everyone else when you have the weakest genes of all? It's like, there's some really mental problems going on.
That's facts.
Facts. I digress.
But let me pick up on that point real quick. We 51 minutes into the live. Yeah. Now what we talking about, we not saying anything to be offensive. We not racist. We're telling the truth out here, because if it wasn't true, then why would they have a treatment called ambrosia treatment? Right? You're injecting younger blood into your body, and they start from the age of 35 and up. So you're old at 35. No one that I know, from our perspective of life, our vision, our everything, that how we grew up, never heard 35 being old.
Right.
35, you young as a motherfucker. So I'm just saying, I never understood that part. But this is the thing that kills me. They hide that shit they try to hide it so well. And my thing is, because of who we are, because of how smart we are, because of how genius we are, we could have just probably came to some type of understanding, and we could have probably developed some things like, I hate to keep referencing this, but our people love this reference, Wakanda. You know what I'm saying? We could have been on some Wakanda shit, chilling by ourselves or whatever. Might need a little help or whatever. Okay, boom, we developed something. Boom, shut it out. You can use that. You know what I'm saying? Live on. But I mean, however, whatever. I'm just saying, you're hiding something. Now the PowerPoint I showed y'all, you know what I'm saying? We know what they hiding, but at the same time, it's like, come on out, be yourself. But I don't think a lot of people could accept that. I really don't.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's hilarious, man. But that's why a lot of times, man, I look on if I'm on social media for a couple minutes, I am on there today. It's like people, when I see stuff that happens in the news, and I still don't see how people are surprised at the stuff that happens.
Right.
Oh man, you see what happened? This injustice, and they're like, yeah, what do you expect?
Like, my favorite one is my favorite one is racism doesn't exist because Obama was in office.
That part right there. That part right there. That part right there. Or they think it's over because Obama wasn't in office.
Yeah. How about that?
Yeah. Understand this, people.
Oh,
I told you I'm a little under.
Go ahead.
They put Obama in office just so we can have a smile on our face, but they was always pulling his strings.
I mean, yeah, that's any president. They're all figureheads.
Yeah, no doubt. I think one of the reasons why they put him in office is to help sway us to do other political shit that we ain't got no business doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the thing is, like, the United States is a corporation.
There you go.
Why they have a president. You
know what? You keep saying that the United States is a corporation. I like that.
It is.
It literally
is. The United States is a business.
Yeah, it's not a country. United States of America is a corporation.
Break it down, son. Break it down.
Hey, I mean, I don't know if we got time for that today. It's almost over, but we got enough time.
Hell yeah.
Definitely. It's just a corporation of collective states. Working together.
Facts. Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It ain't no country.
Nope.
America's the country. Come on, somebody.
Yeah.
Proud to be an American.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you proud to be an American? That sounds like the name of a show.
Hey, look, I ain't gonna lie to you. I
Yeah.
heard that the black man is loved all over the place, though. When we go places, different countries, I heard that they
It is,
love
yeah.
us, boy.
That is
Yeah.
that is what we call
Everywhere outside of America.
Yep.
Wow.
Everywhere outside of America.
Oh, wait a minute. I gotta say this to y'all real quick. Hold on. I hope I got enough time. Not to cut y'all. This is what I had found out too from a guy who was in the military during Vietnam.
Mhm.
He said that when they walked through the bush, those fucking Vietnamese soldiers
I know what
put
you're
their
about to
guns
say.
down and bowed to them niggas because they were black men.
Yeah.
And if you know what Buddha really looks like, Buddha is an actual black god. That's why I had to put that out there.
Look at his head. He got Bantu knots up there.
Facts, God. Facts.
That's
deep
man, he
shit,
got
dog.
curl head. Nah,
That's why they would say, black man, this is not your war.
Yeah, they used to put big publications up there. Like, yo, go
Black
home.
man, this is not your war.
Feel
Neither
me?
is the bullshit that's going on right now, ladies and gentlemen. This is black men, black women. This is not our war that's going on. We did not start this. We did not start this. We're not trying to fight anybody. Why would we fight our cousins for oil? Why?
Come on.
Where's the oil? What continent is the oil in?
Africa.
One more time. What continent is the oil in?
Africa. The Middle East is in Africa. I don't know why people like to
Exactly, bro. Did you know
that's our
Israel was in Africa
territory.
too?
It's our territory. That's where we're from. Come on, people, wake the fuck up. I'm sorry, my language, but wake up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know, I had a discussion with some guys, group of white guys. I was in the military at the time, and we had a full-on argument about the fact that Egypt was not in Africa.
What?
They're not Africans. They're in the Middle East, and these guys really said that because the thing is they didn't want to admit it because we had said that Egyptians were some of the smartest people to ever live. And they say, yeah, but they weren't black. I'm like, they're Africans. What are you talking about? They're like, no, they're Middle East.
And Elizabeth Taylor does not fucking count.
Like, look at the map. Oh, come on, bro.
Look at I told my.
They always put a white woman as Cleopatra, which is wild.
My grandma, before she passed away, she was taught that that Egypt wasn't in Africa. Wow. I had to show her on the fucking map that it was there, and that was like one of the worst times I ever had with her. As far as for like, I felt bad. You put it like that. I felt bad, yo. I did. I felt bad because I proved her wrong.
Yeah, most people don't research. They don't. I'll give you another thing, man. You know, Russians are Asians. Just want to throw that out there. People don't realize that too.
Oh,
it's like the biggest continent in Asia.
Mm-hmm. Facts, bro.
It is actually.
Facts. See,
if you look at most of them,
it's called Asia. It's a part of the Asian continent.
Yeah.
Thus, for everybody in Asia is what? Asian.
Yeah.
Whether you're Russian.
Yeah. Russians are Asians.
Euro Asian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we are 59 minutes into the live. We're about to sign off because Hollywood got to get out of here.
Yeah, buddy.
Y'all know what it is.
I'm glad you reminded me.
Yeah,
you about to go to rehearsal? You sure you up to it? You feeling all right?
Nah, I'm not up to it.
Jasmine Battle singing live tonight if you're in Atlanta.
Jasmine Battle, you said, singing tonight in Atlanta?
Yeah.
Shots out.
Y'all make sure y'all go peep her out. Everybody's in Atlanta. If not, go look up the name Jasmine Battle. Dope that single. Y'all go support her. And also, don't forget, y'all can also pick up the Magician.
Oh yeah,
on
yeah.
King. Y'all make sure y'all pick that up.
Spotify.
I'd like to thank y'all for tuning in. We got some other stuff that's gonna be going on in the works. You know, we're gonna see us on more spots soon. I apologize, I'm just not feeling too good today. But tomorrow's another day. And live your day as it is your best day. Let every day be your best day. How about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that part.
Stay classy, planet Earth.
You know what I'm saying?
Stay frosty.
It's the
Also-
Everyday Talk Show.
Also, y'all
Yeah.
y'all gotta do me one big favor, if I can remember it. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe for everybody on YouTube. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button.
Oh yeah, like,
That's
share,
fair if you want.
subscribe,
Yeah,
Everything
if you want to,
Talk
you know.
Show. Yeah,
I mean, if you
my
feel up
bad.
to it, I mean, it ain't like you got to. I mean, but
Do it right
we're
now.
still gonna do what we do. You know what I'm saying? Still
It's
gonna
free.
Do it right now.
it's free. I don't know if you know that.
like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe.